What's going on, people? It's Mr. Dore back again with another podcast. I hope everyone's fit and well. And yes, we can digest the game yesterday that ended Forest 0, Brentford 2. A defeat at City Ground. Yes, it's a bit disappointing from it because, as you know, we're chasing the Champions League spot. Me and Steve are going to talk about yesterday's game. People, if you do want to get involved as well, me and Steve are watching the Man City game. So if me minus these eyes go with him like this, watching the game. As you know, Man City are winning 1-0, Kevin De Bruyne. But yeah, me and Steve are going to talk about it. If you like it, if you want to get involved, please get in the comment section now. Please hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. Steve, how you doing, my friend?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. I did warn you though, I'm football grumpy, so just to warn you.
We are everyone's allowed to be football grumpy, man.
And I had some banter. I had some bantering work today, so yeah, the lead into me a bit.
First thing I got into work, Brentford, without even seeing the score, I was like, I'm not gonna swear with kids watching, but nah, I was like, jog on. That's what I said. But right, people, like to get involved in the chat as well. Steve, where should we start? Let's start with lineup because when we seen Ella was back, Nico Williams back, Yates was back. That is our strong team, isn't it? That is our strong team. But what was you happy with the team?
Yes, but then looking at the game now back, were certain players fit? I know Hudson-Odoi, was he carrying a slight injury before the game and has just tweaked it more? There's strong rumours now he could be out for the season, or was that something he done in the game? I mean, was Aina fully fit? Was he thrown in straight away? I know you got to put him back in, but were we looking at? Was Toffolo even on the bench last night? I don't think he was. Was he?
On the bench. Yeah, Toffolo.
Oh, he was. So could you see he was hard done by the last couple of games? I know we've been chanting his name. He's had man of the matches. So would you have had Aina on the bench maybe and started Nico? In coming from Ben, I know people can throw it back in my face, say, well, Aina's got to start. Well, sometimes no, you're just not guaranteed to start. I mean, we're all about this next man up and people in form and stuff. So maybe you could look at that balance of it. I mean, the midfield, I was quite happy with. Yates go back in. Wood obviously up top. But yeah, so maybe bar the fullbacks, Ben, maybe the start lineup was, I was quite happy with. I thought that was more than enough to withstand them. But obviously, as we get into it more, in deeper, the game plan didn't quite go our way, did it?
People like to get involved. I'm just going for the chat. We've got Newcastle fan here. Evening, Mr. Dore. Hope you're well. I'm always all right. Are we rivals now, Newcastle? I want Newcastle to get Champions League football, but we're coming for you, Newcastle. We're coming for you as well. Daz, evening, guys. After last night, I think it's come down to the Chelsea game and decide to where we play in Europe. I still believe we can do it before Chelsea. I really do. But time will tell, man. It's 4 games to go, man. It's 4 games to go. Kel said, "Hey Ben, and Des yesterday was S. We need to switch up our game plan, or I hate to say it, Nuno might have to go." We are going to talk about later on about Nuno because there've been quite a lot of people saying things, but me and Steve will talk about it later on. Are you ready, Steve, for later on, Steve?
Yeah.
As well. Shout out to Colin. People, if you want to be a member to the channel, please do. All you got to do is click on the $ as well. If people want to do it in the super chats, it helps me a lot as well. So please do. Ali Khan, I don't know why we didn't sign a couple of players in January to push into the league. Again, we'll talk about that, Ali, because I don't know. Let me just touch on a little bit about it. I want to talk about the game and other things. We all know Nuno likes a small squad. Yes, he could have got a striker. He did bid for Whistle, 25 million. He got rejected. We've got to watch out for FFP. I know if we did sign his players and we get the money back through Champions League money, where we are in Premier League, I get all that. But listen, we'll analyze everything at the end of the season and where we are. That's all we can do. But I understand that. I understand the opinion from Matt Ali. Eve, good evening, Mr. Dawn, Steve. Hope you both well. Saying that we lost last night, but we need to remain positive and not get angry with players. No, 100% Eve. See, why do people listen to Eve? Don't get angry and just say negative about the team. But everyone has an opinion and ways. I hope you're well, Eve. Thomas says, hi lads, I can't believe the result from Sunday and yesterday absolutely total wasted. Yeah. Where's the Wembley game I'm not going to call it a free hit because that's ridiculous for saying that. But yesterday's game, it was a chance to get back in third and be in a bit of pack. But we're still in that pack. We've got 4 games to go. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Power says players look fit last night, in my opinion. Again, that's what I'm going to talk to Stephen about because, like, I feel Williams, Yates, Ola coming back. Ola not fully fit. I get it, and that. So, but right, Steve. Right, what's your opinion about yesterday's game? Talk to me,
man. I thought they started the brighter, but then we came into it. I think for the last 30 minutes of the first half, I thought we were the better team. I wouldn't say we had clear-cut chances, but we weren't really in danger. And obviously, they had that goal then. I can't remember what minute they scored. Long before half-time, but it was a bit of a sucker punch. I mean, going back to aim there again, I mean, that wasn't down to fitness. That was just him slipping and him and Sells kind of misjudging it and Sharda getting in between them. Probably I would say, Ben, if people in the comments or yourself, Ben, could name me probably a poorer goal we've conceded this season. That's probably the most feeble goal we've won. It's a Sunday League goal, wasn't it? You see that down the park, really, and that's not disrespectful. That's at Premier League level. We did slip, but you don't tend to see that, and especially from us, we're so solid. With Milenkovic and Marino on the back, we just got done with one over the top ball. I mean, they didn't carve us open. Like, what's all this hype with Brentford? They weren't that great. Sky was going on like they sucker punched us twice. They didn't really, their top 2 players played well in Bomo and Wissa. They caused you troubles, but they weren't brilliant. I've seen all these comments and even tweets from Brentford and saying, "Oh, what about okay, they're going to be biased towards their team, but." Bar them 2 lump forwards, I mean, they didn't really, did Sells do that much?
First off, was it the first?
Yeah, the first. Yeah. Like, I mean, they started well. They were dictating play. They stall out, but then when we came into it, I mean, we got the ball out to the wingers more. I thought Hudson-Odoi maybe was carrying a knock, and obviously he's got worse. But Alanga looked dangerous. I mean, yeah. But then the second half, Ben, it was just like huff and puff. And then someone said in the comments then about fatigue. I personally think there is fatigue sitting in, Ben, to this team. I mean, you touched on it with the small squad. I mean, I'm going to tie in all these little things now you've been mentioning about the squad depth, about not recruiting, fatigue. These games we played in the FA Cup, we've played 120 minutes games now. How many times have you played it? Exeter, Ipswich,
Brighton.
We've had quick turnaround as well in games. We haven't got a big squad. We haven't got the strength and depth like a Villa or obviously Chelsea's and all this world. So I think it's starting to catch up maybe with some of the players. But then you still got to do the job. I mean, we did have a couple of chances. I mean, it was 1-0 Alanga, but I call it the Hudson-Odoi chance where he tried to curl it in and the keeper saved it. Chris Wood had a header, he flashed wide. So yeah, it's just frustrating, Ben. It's just one of them games. I think they did a Forest on a Forest. I think they sucker punched it. They did.
I said like at that time, especially in the first half, I think it was the 30-minute mark. I said to my friends and Craig, this has got a 1-0 game on it. It felt like Everton. Yeah. It felt like about Everton because we wasn't. Did we test the goalkeeper first half? We had one half chance. It was
half chance maybe. It doesn't really come to mind as such, but it was just it was nothing. But we we played with good tempo in the first half, that section, just after they had a good start. We did start to come into it. We run the ball back. Gibbs White was picking the ball up from deep. I don't know what your personal opinion, Ben. Do you think that was Anderson's probably not so good performance for a while? I didn't think he was that great last night, Anderson. Do you think that yellow card upset him a bit?
I think that upset him. I think he sort of upset him, and because Morgan's White got booked as well, didn't it? And the referee wasn't that great.
Oh God!
Don't booking everyone. But we can't blame the ref. Let's keep it real. We can't blame the ref.
No.
Ref was giving yellows and that.
But Ben, I say right. Like I go back to the Newcastle game at home. We were 1-0 down, right? And who was it who turned Dan Burn? And Dan Burn was on a yellow card.
Yeah.
And he took the player out. And that changes the game. I don't care what anyone says. It changes the dynamic of a game, right? And if he got sent off last night, Potter, we not to know how it turned out. I mean, their game plan changes then. They may sit in deeper. And they played for a draw then. You know what I mean? So we have to break them down. But it's just little things, Ben. The referee bottled it. We are on a bottling it, right? The referee bottled it. So you can shove that tagline up your backside. So, you know what I mean? Yeah. That's bottling it.
That's later. We'll do that later on, Steve, as well.
Yeah. That's a little that's a foreshadowing what we're going to come on to later. But yeah, that's bottling it. Because come on now, you've got to agree. If he hadn't been yellow carded the first time, that's a yellow card. What he completely cleaned out Alanga. But that's the rest, like you said. That's clutching of straws, really. We still got to do the biz, haven't we? So
yeah, let's see. Like you mentioned, Anson, and like I said, Anson. I think, like I said, I think he's when he signed for us, I didn't know who he was, and he's been fantastic for us. I think for the last 3 games, I think because that 8 role, that's his position now to lose. And I've always said when you got players like, again, people, if you agree or disagree, get in the comments. When you got people like Danilo and Dominguez, Dominguez has been fantastic in that 6. I still feel them 2 players are still 8. But I think it's Anson's to lose.
Yeah.
Oh, am I going to come out and say, should we arrest him? No, because he's a good player. I don't think we need to. I don't think we should be arresting players at the back end of the season. People, what's your opinion? Do you think it's time to arrest Anson? Yes or no? Because he's been getting loads of stick, and I think it's maybe yes, maybe no. That's what
I noticed, Ben, as well. The game doesn't come to mind, but there was definitely a game where he got similar to yesterday. He got yellow carded earlier on, and I feel with Anderson, it kind of upsets him. It kind of disrupts his game. Again, like I said, I can't remember what game it was. He had a yellow card, and he seems to put him off his stride a little bit. Maybe he feels he can't go into the challenges as much because he's obviously wary, and he's trying to force things in. And I felt him and Gibbs White last night were a bit loose with their passing. Gibbs White had that early yellow card as well. I think them 2 got rattled earlier on. I think it completely threw them off their game because it would, Ben, having a yellow card so early, because Gibbs White was very early, wasn't it? I think it was like 15 minutes into the game. It was a very early yellow card. And I think when you're sitting in the boiler house in the midfield there, I mean, trying to win them tackles, win them 50-50s, it's going to play in your mind. Especially with Gibbs White and Anderson full-hearted going in, it's going to disrupt your game.
I think, as I said, there's KL for Steve said, Anderson's better than Gibbs White. I don't think he is. Like I said,
different players. You can't compare the 2.
You can't compare the 2, man. Like I hear when you hear people say, "Oh, Gibbs White," he's. I'll say my right in a minute later on in the show. But we've got an answer, and I think he's the number 1 choice for that number 8 role. And I don't think we could drop him. Dominguez and Danilo, like I said, he wasn't great against Man City, and he wasn't even on a bench yesterday. And with Dominguez, people in the chat, right? Again, let's talk about Dominguez, because as we know, Cam Hudson-Odoi got injured. He come off, and Dominguez come on. Me personally, I thought that was wrong. I don't think we should have brought on Souza or Jota Silva. Me personally, what was your thoughts on that, Steve? Because I thought it was wrong.
So what do you say, Ben? You would have brought Sosa or Jota on instead of Dominguez?
Yes, because
Yes.
Dominguez playing right wing. But
Yeah.
what's your opinion?
Ben, I've been saying it for weeks now, and on this show, the balance of this team has got to be correct. I feel if that balance is not there, and you can say it's for most other teams, but it just feels with us, if we don't get that balance right, it completely falls apart. Like with Dominguez, you can't play him out wide. You can't. He sits in there, like you said, he's a number 6 or even number 8 or whatever. I felt you should have brought on Sosa. Sosa should have gone to the left. Alanga should have gone to the right. And I said this on the chat, Ben, is why, and again, I hate to be picking holes in Nuno because he's the manager, but you've got Rico Henry coming on, who hasn't played much football. You get Alanga running at him. You get a winger running at a left back who hasn't played in a long time. Test him out. You know what I mean? Rico Henry wasn't tested because we can have a balance on the right hand side. You need to bring, for me, you have to bring a like for like on in that instant. If Hudson Odoi is going off, you've got to bring Sosa on or Jota Silva.
People in chat, what do you feel, man? Like, if you are rewatching this, what's your thoughts on that? Because I think, Steve, I was talking to someone yesterday, and it felt like last season with substitutions, I feel he got it wrong with the subs. What's your thoughts? People in chat as well, get involved. Please hit the like button as well if you can. Subscribe. Do you think he got his subs wrong again? Because I don't want. Listen, I don't want to. Listen to me. We are right to criticize Nuno, and this is why we're a platform for. But I feel again, he's got the first time he's got the subs wrong. Do you think he got it wrong, or did he get it right?
Well, he threw me a bit off when he brought Taiwo on and he went 2 up top. Now, the last time he went with that was again Fulham.
Yeah.
And it was a home game as well, didn't we? We went with 2 up top. Was it? Oh, that was Fulham, was it? Was that the Fulham home game, you mean?
Yeah,
or was it away?
Fulham game, yeah.
Oh, he went 2 up top.
Yeah.
I mean, it just felt at the end, Ben, especially watching on TV, it just felt he was just like unloading the bench for the sake of it. It didn't seem to have any pattern or any plan to it. And that, like you said, that's again, Nuno is there to be criticised. Well, no manager is safe from criticism. It just felt like you was kind of go in, right, just go on and just see what you can do. It just felt a bit off with again, I go back to the balance of the team. For me, I agree with Ben. It should have been Hudson-Odoi off, Sosa or Jota Silva on. That's for me. That's like for like, and then you can bring the likes of Dominguez on for Yates and so on. And if he wants to go 2 up top, do it, whatever. But yeah, it's just very The subs were very. I can't remember what else he brought. He brought Jota Silva on, obviously.
Jota Silva, Souza, Sangare.
Yeah.
And who else did he bring on?
I think
who else did he bring on?
Was it? He didn't bring Abbott was on the bench, really. Abbott didn't come on.
On the bench. Morata was on the bench. Abbott. Yeah. Bloody hell. I don't know, people. I don't know. It feels. Listen, but I don't want to. Right, I'm going to talk about it because me and Steve had a talk about it. And what annoys me, right? And people have their opinion about the club we love. And I've seen people have the say about the team. I'm going to say my piece about it, and people get involved, and I don't care if people run back and tell him as well. Why would you call someone a bottle? Was it Bottle FC? Bottle? What was it? Bottle FC?
Bottle Job FC, isn't it?
Bottle Job FC. We're 6 in the Premier League. And I don't see the logic of, like, I'm a content creator, but to call it your team a Bottle FC to get the hits from it, I don't. Steve, people in the chat, you understand what I'm trying to say, right? We're 6 in the Premier League. We're doing fantastic. Yes, we're not playing well, but we ain't called Bottle FC. And Nuno is Portugal version to Steve Cooper. I don't get it, Steve. What's your opinion on it? People in the chat as well. I don't.
Boggles my mind.
I don't get it.
Let me just say one thing, all right? If we were in 15th, right, season gone nowhere, playing for nothing, safe, what would they have to say on these other contest channels? Like what I'm trying to say is we are in the top six of the Premier League. We are the sixth best team in Britain, right? As it stands now. If you were say again, I go back to you always refer back to the past. If we had this chat a year ago, Ben, on here, and you said to me, but this time next year, Steve, we'd be sixth in the Premier League. I'm like, Ben, have you been drinking tonight? You know what I mean? I'd say to you, we'd be sixth from bottom. But if we were 14th, 15th now, what would these people who are calling it bottle jobs have to talk about? Because why are they moaning? We are sixth in the Premier League. What is there? I mean, get some realism here. A couple of seasons ago, we were second from bottom when Cooper took over to now. We are going to get European football in any shape or form. It could be conference, it could be Europa.
I'm not an issue.
It's unreal, Ben. It's people need to grasp reality. The jump, right? I stick by this. Nuno, if we get into Europe, should get manager of the year. I know Sloth's going to get it. Before it's that jump. It's just it's not just steady. You know, if we were 14th this season, the next season 10th, then 6th, it's gradual. But he's jumped us that high. We were never this season. This time last year, we were going to Sheffield United to get a win to stay up.
Exactly. Sheffield United, Burnley.
I mean, and a year on now, we're mourning. We're all entitled to a mourn, but we're mourning now because we just got beaten 2-0 by Brentford to go third. Third. Not third from bottom, third from the Premier League. Ben, it baffles my mind. It baffles my mind, these people who think it's bottle this, bottle that. Look, we haven't got the squad depth of Man City or Villa or Chelsea or Newcastle.
But that comes to this comes to the point with like what we spoke about earlier on about how we should have with Nuno having a small squad, and then we can't get the players in January. Like I said, we bid for Wissa for 25 million, and we couldn't get him.
I will say that, right, and I will stick by my. We should have invested in January, being 2 players maybe, just to get us over that line. Because when you look at it, Ben, right, Newcastle haven't got they haven't got the strength and depth either, right?
Yeah.
If you look at their bench, right, similar to us really, outside the top best 11, they haven't got a great bench. They've got a lot of squad players there, but what happened with them? When Gordon got injured, they had Harvey Barnes to come in.
Yeah.
Now, Harvey Barnes took them to, that level on the wing. What I'm trying to say is, and this is no disrespect to maybe like we signed Jota Silva or Sosa, when Hudson-Odoi has been injured or suspended or out of form, we haven't got that kind of caliber of player to step up like maybe Newcastle have. Now, Newcastle have been very fortunate. They haven't had a lot of injuries. When they did, they had bad form that they've picked up. But the likes of Chelsea have got big squads. Man City got big squads. They bench Ben is worth more no team. And we competing with these boys up in the top 6. And the reason, and it goes back to, we are falling away and it is fatigue, but it's not bottling it. We are finding it hard now. It's getting to that stage. This is where the squads, this is where they do matter. These squads do matter. And maybe our bench isn't strong enough. It isn't, Ben. Unfortunately, it isn't strong enough.
It's not strong enough.
Because we didn't have...
At the same time, Steve, like I said, it's not strong enough, but we've got to cope now. We've got to cope because we can't...
We've got to cope. We've got to cope.
To the point, I said, people calling Forest like a team that you support, bottle up FC, whatever you want to call it, I think it's disrespectful. As a content creator, people's mindsets. Like I said, everyone has an opinion, and that's fine. Because we don't want everyone is on the same him page on all that. But call it bottle FC. For me, it doesn't sit well.
Well, if we're bottle FC, what does that make Spurs and Man United in?
Exactly. What about the teams below? And like I said, I'm not going to come in and disrespect other teams and that. But you know who they are. You know who he is. I'm not going to. People will know who he is, but I just think it's disrespectful. And if it gets hits for the channel to say Bottle FC, is what it is. Katie said it would be good. We would have anything to be where we are from last season. They're happy to be applauding when they're doing well. Get behind the team when they were needed as most. 100% Katie. It just really gets really touched. I mean, I spoke to the lads as well about it. I thought it's. I
hear the comment there.
You know what annoys me so well, because like I said, I'm lucky to go to every single game, and yes, some people will do this, and this, and analyze it like you analyze it, Steve, from how you feel it from it. But people have the after game, like everyone has a reaction straight after the game, and that's why me and Steve here, we have 24 hours to think about the performance. But continuing saying, I mentioned Steve Cooper. Why do you? I don't understand why do you mention Steve Cooper? Stop mentioning the guy. Stop mentioning him. He's not. I can't bother this day.
Without Steve Cooper, we won't be having this conversation now.
The Portuguese Steve Cooper, that's what they call Nuno.
But Steve Cooper, what matter what you think of him, set the stone for all this. He set the benchmark for all this to move on. Cooper, yes, he's a legend what he did for us, and it didn't work out at the end. But he set the tone for this, and we just progressed under Nuno now too. And it will come a time, Ben, where we'll have to progress on from Nuno.
Exactly.
It will come a time. But it's all about progression. Look what Aston Villa done. They progressed. They are on to one of the best coaches in Europe.
No, Aston Villa is the same. Notice Aston Villa, and you can say Newcastle as well, because remember Newcastle won the championship, Villa won the championship. And now look at them. Look at them. And now it's fun base. Like I said, we want to be in the top 6 for forever. And it's not going to happen.
Every team does, Ben. Every team.
It's like next season maybe we could do one better, or maybe next season we could be back where the bottom 3 clubs or whatever. No one knows what's going to happen next season. No one does. But right now we're 6th in the Premier League. We've got 4 games to go. We're fighting for Champions League, and all I hear is Nuno. Nuno is this, but it just raised me.
I heard a comment. I heard a comment saying the Everton game was one of the worst performances this person has seen in a decade. Now, I don't know how many games this person has seen in a decade, but you go back 2015, that is, right? So he's telling me between 2015 and now, that Everton game was one of the worst games he's seen. Now, yes, that ending game was bad, but seriously, we've been under the Chris regime. We've been under Philip Montagnier. We've seen some right stinkers.
That's what bothers me, Steve. We have Gary Megson. Worst manager.
I mean,
people in the chat. Who's the right? Since you sponsored the club, who's been the worst Nottingham Forest manager we've ever had? Come on, get involved, man. Come on, because I don't want to.
Megson. Gary Megson.
Gary Megson.
Or Steve McLaren was quite bad.
Yeah, McLaren was. What about Montagnier? The French one.
Phil Montagnier was worse. Joe Kinnear.
No, what? David Platt. Was David Platt worse?
David Platt spent a lot of money.
The players liked him.
Yeah, but Platt spent a lot of money and wasted a lot of money.
Yeah, much
and he didn't get us anywhere. He just got us mid-table. He didn't what they thought would get us to the Premier League. Alex McLeish.
Yeah, but I felt sorry for him though.
Did you?
I felt sorry for McLeish because that was
Chris
foul.
Hinton.
That was hold on. See what I mean?
Right, Ben, Ben. Come on now. That Stoke away game and the Chris Hinton.
Why, Steve? Why? Why did you
No,
mention that?
you know what I'm saying, why, Ben? Because
Don't mention that game to me.
that idiot comment saying that was the worst game. That game, Stoke away.
Remember that? Oh, remember the 4-1 behind closed doors. Last game.
Ben, why did you mention that?
People, that's the worst. Watch along, but yeah, that was the worst watch.
That was awful.
Sorry, people in the chat. I'm bringing back memories. This is a Brentford review show, but
what about Middlesbrough home? Was it Houghton's last game?
That was Houghton's last game, but you can't beat Stoke away though. Stoke away was worse.
Oh my! Well, I didn't. Obviously, I wasn't there to watch it, but that was bad. Yeah, that was really bad.
People in the chat, come on. Who's been with the 17 people? Who's the worst manager that you've ever witnessed as Forest manager, man? We try and give them some confidence, man, some hopes, man. People, I've done a poll as well. I'm gonna get Stephen's opinion about this, but people hit the like button, subscribe if you know. I've done a poll. Can Forest get Champions League? People have voted. 46 says yes, 25 says no, 29 says maybe. We're 6 in the Premier League. Steve, can we do it? Yes or no? We've got 4 games to go.
Yes, but I think I hate to rely on other teams, but I think we're going to need a couple of favours, Ben. I think.
Yeah, because Chelsea got Liverpool.
Chelsea got Liverpool now. Where are Liverpool heads at? Are they going to play some fringe players? Are they heads on the beach? Do they still want to put a show on? Do they want to go up? Do they want to lose their last 4 games, go on a whimper? So it'd be interesting where they stand. But I think, Ben, we're going to have other teams as well to do us favours. That's my personal opinion. Because we can still do it, obviously, with their own, with their own results. But I think we're going to have some favours on the way. I think. And it could be a straight shootout then with Chelsea last game.
Another question, Steve. People in the chat, get involved with us, man. If we miss Champions League and we got Europa,
yeah,
are you gonna be upset about it?
No, that's not a bad season. That's not a bad season.
It's not a bad season.
How can that be a bad season, Ben? Please, people in the chat, tell me how can that be a bad season if we get Europa League?
You know what, see, I understand people's opinion about, like, for me, and I think, like yourself, Steve, and everyone who's a Forest fan, everyone has different expectations, and I get it. I understand, get it. But finishing the league and getting a Europa spot, because you've got to look at it, right? If it was in the Conference League, I'd still be happy because it's more likely we can win that, and it's a cup at the end of it.
I think what I would say though, and I've had a chat with a few neutral fans about this, and they've asked me, if you weren't to get Champions League now, would you see that as a failure? Now, the failure side is, it is failure to it because we've been in the top 4 for a big chunk of the season.
For a long time,
top 3. I get it, right? There's one time where we've been considered title contenders. Come on, for God's sake. You know what I mean? So I can see it as that, but still, overall, Ben, it will not be a failure if that makes sense. As in, at the end of the season, if we end up 6, if you look at on base, 6 is great. But then if you look deeper into the season where people say, we were 3rd for combined weeks of 12 weeks, we sat in 3rd and 4th, then we dropped out. But again, it goes full circle, Ben, what I said earlier about the bigger squads, the better squads who've got strength and depth, they come to the fore. And that's the harsh reality of it. It's like the championship, Ben, right? I always say with the championship, right? You've got 24 teams. At the beginning of the season, what happens, Ben? You get the likes of like Plymouth, maybe like an Oxford, a Derby County, these small clubs. They push up. They try and compete.
Small clubs. Clubs.
They're always in the bugs in top 6. And they think, But then what happens? The bigger, better squads, they even out, and then you start seeing this. it's similar in the Premier League. You start seeing the shape of the league. We are just this season, and this is why the pundits hate it. This is why they're rubbing their hands now, saying things like, "Oh, Forest are bottling it. Forest are doing this. They're feeling the pressure." They don't want us up there, Ben. They want the. You've said it before, Ben. They want the elite. They want their top six, and that's it. They don't want likes of us and even Aston Villa and Newcastle breaking that norm. So for me, Ben, Europa League football is wow. Right. So if I said to you last year, Ben, next year I'll give you Europa League, will you take it?
Of course
you
I
would
will.
have. Of course you would have.
Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? But
And the same people, right?
Let me flip it, right? Because like I said, we've been, and people in the chat like to get involved. If, like I said, we've third for so long, and we knew we're going to have downs. This is what Premier League is. But now we're six. We've got, when we heard we've got the easiest running. There's no easy run in the Premier League. There's none. Like with Brentford, they've got a slight chance of getting European football as well.
Yeah.
So this is what gets my nerves with. I don't believe in easy runnings. Yes, people will be on the beach. Palace is not going to be easy.
The only thing I hang out the hope with Palace is they will have one eye on the final. Their players won't want to. I know professionals go out there to win and they perform, but come on, let's face it, they're humans at the day. They don't want to go in and have an injury, do ligaments, do hamstrings. So maybe that's what's got us in good stead. Maybe we're playing up a good time. So I'm just praying. I'm just holding out for that. But can I just say one thing? All right, Ben. So look at this way now, right? I'm just thinking this, right? So people are saying we're third, we're dropped, right? But look at on the flip side. What if we had put a run together and we snuck, say, like with 5-6 games to go, we are snuck into the top six, right? Okay, and then people started going, could Forest make third or fourth? And we were pushing, right? And we just missed out on Champions League. Would that be a failure?
No.
So now it's the opposite. This is why it's been the opposite then. Now we've dropped, people have seen it as failure. Yes, it is to a point, but we're still in a section of the league where we never thought we would be at the beginning of the season in a million years. It's just...
right. Again, let me flip it. People in the chat as well. When did your expectations change? Because like I said, we all said 15th, 16th at the start. When we was third, did you say to yourself, "Oh, we can finish"?
Do you know what it changed for me? The run we had. What was it? 7 games you won in a row? Was it 7, 8?
Yeah.
That going into the Liverpool game, and we thought, if we beat Liverpool here, we could be title contenders. Because I said to you, Ben, as well, you asked me the question on the show, you said, if we beat Liverpool, can we be classed as title contenders? And I said, yes.
Yeah.
That's when the expectation changed for me. And we had a point off them. And that's why I thought, you know what? We're onto something here. Because every time they thought the pundits and some fans thought the wheels were going to come off, we kept on winning. I thought, you know what? We're onto something special here. And only now in recent weeks, we've started to come off the boil a bit, and fatigue and so on, the squad depth, all the stuff we've said so far, and it's caught up with us really, Ben.
100%.
You know why, Ben? People are getting upset, and I understand the frustration with fans, right? Because we've had a taste of it now in the top 3 and 4. Ben, it's like a dog smelling blood. They're going back for more. It's like I can taste it. I want it. I understand your frustration, but be realistic here. We've dropped off, yes, but we can still get European football.
Exactly.
Would you rather be Leicester? Would you rather be Southampton?
Would
you rather be Ipswich?
Or it's even we could like who's playing Derby and Stoke playing tomorrow. We imagine being Derby and Stoke tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because is it Leicester Southampton tomorrow? We could be. Look at them. if we're called Bottle Job FC, what Stoke and what Leicester and Southampton then?
That fixture tomorrow, Leicester Southampton, is probably one of the most pointless Premier League fixtures of all time.
No, we do want Southampton to win though.
Oh no, it isn't actually. Yeah, we do want Southampton to win.
We
Actually,
want Southampton to win. Please, Southampton. Please do.
After what's the word? After thing of Leicester as well.
Lineker Stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To get that point, they'll win off Leicester as well to beat Derby's record.
Southampton, don't bottle this, please. Please don't bottle this.
So I kind of take that back, Ben. That's the most pointless fixture in Premier League history.
Right, I'm just going to go for the comments. It's Kate again. Could be a better disguise to get Europe here. Do a Man United or Tottenham, and we'll get there in Champions League the following year. You know what annoying me with that comment with the Man U and Spurs? They've had the worst. I hope it continues. I hope it continues next season. But Man U and Tottenham, if one of them two get Champions League football, I'm going to lose my head. They don't deserve it at all. But it's going to be a Man U thing, isn't it? It's always going to be a Man U thing, and they'll find a way. Yeah. It's so annoying, man. So annoying. As well, Katie, how you doing? Katie, hope you're all right. Whatever we finish the season has been magic. We get behind them, enjoy it. See, why can't everyone be like Katie? Like, it's been a fantastic season, a great season, man. But it's not over yet. And 3 games, it's 3 or 4 games to go. Come on, man. Let's enjoy it, man. Let's enjoy it, man. Power says, myself and probably others in my generation now, sometimes I wonder if we'll see us get it to the Premier League. Every year we don't get relegated. It's success. The best comment I've ever seen, man. Best comment every year. That's the best comment Power said. Best comment. Because I think if you look at it, right, because we're not a big top 6 club, I think all we've got to say, make sure we don't get relegated.
Yeah,
I think that's why everyone's thought process is just make sure we stay clear from the bottom 3, and that was my aim: just stay clear from the bottom 3. And look at us, we're 6.
What's the saying go, Ben? Yeah, what's the saying go? As long as you're 17th, you're fine.
Exactly. I sometimes got criticised for saying that because we're not.
Can I just? That was a great comment. That's been the best comment all night. That comment. Then.
People, show some love to Power, man. Show some love to Power. Come on, that's the best comment.
I would just back that up, right, to what Des said, right, a few weeks ago on a show I watched. Is people forget in seasons gone by we'd be in the mid-table in the championship. At this point of the season, playing for absolutely nothing, Ben. Nothing. And now, look at us. That's the thing. How far we've come. So I'll just back it up as well with that comment.
Yeah.
You know?
Great comment, Power, man. So people show some love to that comment, man.
We fought 23 years to get back in the Premier League, and now people are mourning we're there. In 6th. Get a grip, man.
Oh, because shout out to who was it? Forest Focus, and he went on the same run like we've been on about.
Oh, is it the guy with the beard?
Yeah, what's his name? I forgot. Someone Blackburn. Something Blackburn.
He spoke well. He did.
He spoke well about it, and like, shout to Forest, but make sure everyone subscribes to Forest Focus. This is, and again, everyone has an opinion, but sometimes if I say opinion, people will disagree with me, and that's fine. And people will disagree with Steve, and people disagree with everyone else in the chat. I'm like, that's it. Not Matt Davis. It's the other one. Matt Davis runs the channel. It's something Blackburn. Something Blackburn. I forget his name is. If no one's seen it, go and see it. It's on my Instagram from me. He said it so well about where we started and where we've been, because everyone's of how we have been on this fantastic run. It's been a great run, and it's Forest fans watching these games, and it's like I say, it's great. But we are going to have a poor form, and right now we're in this poor form. But one win could turn it. Like I think when we lost to, was it Man City? We lost 3-0, and then we beat Man U the next day. It could turn. This is what the Premier League for, and this is what with the Premier League. Even if we finish 7th, it's still a great season. But right now, I still feel, like I said, when I put the poll up, I feel it's still going to be a Champions League. People, it's going to be Champions League. We've got Palace, we've got Leicester, West Ham, and we've
West
got
Ham.
Chelsea. Exactly. These games are tough, but I still believe we can do it. And like I said, people, everyone can be happy. People can be sad. People can always knock at the Forest and whatever going to call us these days. But listen, I believe we can do it. Steve believes we can do it. When me and Steve agreed to do this chat, we just want to call out people about it because there's just no need for the Port Job FC. It's just ridiculous. I was going to see this comment from this guy, actually a legend. Hi Ben, hi Steve. Don't worry about Des. I looked after him today. I FaceTimed Des Steve and I met Davey. Des is in Belfast doing a run.
Yeah.
And I FaceTimed Des and Davey came. So shout out to Davey, absolutely legend. Davey, I feel sorry for you looking after Des. I really do. Yeah, but shout out to Davey, legend of the channel. Davey, we've had a little rant, Davey. So if you want to look back and watch it, please do. Just don't show Des, because I know Des will go mad. So, but yeah. Last but not least, we've not really spoken about yesterday's game because I think it's one of the games we're gonna really forget. But what do you think? What are you confident? People in the chat, are you confident of what's people's opinion now going to Crystal Palace? Because I'll do a video for Crystal Palace game. I need to message Palace fan about it through live stream. What's everyone's opinion about Palace? Can we get there and get a win? What's your thoughts, Steve, about Palace away? Because we've got a good record away at Palace.
Yeah, they haven't beaten us in 5 games, since we've been back. Would you take a draw now? You probably would, given to. I think a win would be more obviously ideal. You'd want to win every game, but I mean, you look at Palace and we got Leicester. Then the following week we are 64. I mean, it goes on Chelsea tomorrow as well, Ben. I mean, if Liverpool can do us a big favour, again, go back to. I think we're gonna have to rely on favours. We have to, I think, as well. They're always handy. But yeah, we can go there and win. I think maybe playing away from home as well. A little bit less pressure, Ben. Maybe we are set up better away from home as it stands at the moment. I mean, at home, as is showing his ends and Brentford, teams are coming now and sitting back. And they're saying to us now, you have the ball. And they know now Forest with the ball tend to be, we're not a possession-based side. So maybe away from home, but then Palace are the counteracting side. So I'd be interested to see which way the game goes. The Leicester game, I know I'm jumping again a bit here, but the Leicester game be interesting to me as well because they are a poor side, and I'm just hoping now because we'll have a lot more of the ball than they will. Can we? Because what's worrying me lately, Ben, is having the ball and it's putting them chances away. We haven't scored now in the last 2 home games, and that's a worry. So, but again, at Spurs away, we hit them quick. Maybe, and I'm holding out for this FA Cup thing as well. Maybe Palace maybe the rest of 2 players. Maybe they're starting Ketye up front instead of Mateta.
Watch him score though. Watch him score past us.
The albino, what's his name? Will Hughes will probably play.
You know what?
Yeah.
Even if he is he's like a Ryan Yates in there. We can love or hate him. Ryan Yates will deal with him. But right, people, we've had a little run.
Well, Ben, just a quick one. If you had to pick one player last night, who was your player? If you had to say one,
people in the chat, pick one player. Who was your?
Can I just say though, and I hate to say it about my main man, but I think that was Milinkovic's poorest game. I think.
Yeah, that was his poor game.
I think Visser running ragged last night.
Yeah, I think both of the goals was his fault, wasn't it? Yeah, both of them was his fault. If I'm honest,
it's definitely the second one.
Definitely the second one. I just don't think he wanted to touch him.
No,
to knock him down. But that's I think that's been his poor. the worst game that he's played in the Forest shirt. But I don't want to. Again, we can't. We're allowed to criticize players.
Every player gets an off day, off game. Ben, every player.
Yeah, but he's been one of the. Everyone has an off day, and it is what it is, man. Like I mean,
I personally think, I'm not just saying it again because he's a countryman and all that. I think Nico Williams again. I think he was probably the standout player. I mean, he had a bit of a torrid time. He had Mbomo running at him nearly all the game, but I think Nico again, 100%, 110% again, Ben, for me.
Right, people. Well, we're going to get going.
And Caitlin's nodding her head there. Nico Williams' biggest fan there. She's agreed with me there.
Shout out to Caitlin, man. As well, man. But people, like I said, don't get depressed, man. Like, don't get football depressed. Because, like I said,
don't worry, next year, I told the boys in work today, Vista will be wearing a Forest shirt next year anyway. So don't worry. Brentford fans,
we're going to improve.
Brentford fans, don't worry. All 800 fans that came up yesterday to watch them. How many came up to watch them? I don't know. Vista, don't worry. Have you at the moment? Vista being a Forest shirt next. Be actually playing for a big club next year, so don't worry.
People like to don't worry. We'll see Western in a red shirt, but
yeah,
time will tell, people. Time will tell. But it's been a great show, people. Thank you, Steve, for taking time.
Man City won, Ben.
Oh, great! Thanks.
1-0.
I think I'm on delay, Steve. So thanks a lot for that. Yeah.
You're on West Wi-Fi, you?
I'm on your Wi-Fi. So. Yeah, right, it's been a pleasure, people. Thank you for everyone that's watched the show. Like I said, we had a little rant, but I don't care. Send it to him because talk actually crap. But yeah, right, people. If you're watching this, if you agreed or disagreed with everything that me, Steve said, please get involved. Thank you for everyone that took their time to watch this show. I'm gonna get Rich. That's it, Rich, the Crystal Palace fan, to come on my show. We'll do I'm gonna message him now to do a show. People believe, and like I said, everyone will have the opinion. It's good to have the shows. This is why me and Steve are here, and we have the panel as well to talk about Forest. We're 6th in the Premier League, and we're still going to be 6th by the time we play Crystal Palace. Because I think Aston Villa, they've got to win.
Yeah, by 7 goals.
7 goals. Alan, if you're watching this, make sure Fulham get a result at Villa, please. Please do. It would be nice. It would be nice. As well, Liverpool, please, Liverpool. I can't believe I'm saying that. Liverpool beat Chelsea. Newcastle got Brighton, haven't they? So
Brighton, yeah.
Yeah, and Man City have won. So the highest we can go is 4th. So, but I think that's in that Champions League. If we do, or we're going to call this bottom's job for winning the game. But I'm not gonna say nothing, Steve. No more arguments from me. Right, people, it's been a pleasure. Before you do leave, please hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and we're back either tomorrow or Sunday for the preview show. Peace and love up the bloody Forest.